Well, I do declare this Ebenezer King shit ain't what it used to be. And it has been politically taken over. You heard on January the 5th, 2012, that the King Center, founded by Coretta Scott King, was taken over by King Inc. Martin Luther King III told you that when he left. I had to clean up some shit for our daughters so they can know the real heritage. So what I'm going to do is Martin Luther King Jr. preached his eulogy, the drum major instinct. I'm going to give you my mission accomplished statement. Y'all gonna hear the most transparent message you ever heard about Ebenezer and its history from myself, the last son of Ebenezer, and the oldest living member, Reverend Dr. Albert Paul Brinson, Daddy King's young buck. Y'all listen in, learn up, and tell them homo boys this been hip-hop hermeneutics, pugilistic theology, basketball, and motherfucking boxing. And them niggas just got punched in the pulpit with these parental pigs. The hood know the blunt went out. That got to be the truth, because that's what the Holy Ghost ministers in. All truth. Here y'all go.
Have you ever seen someone with the whole heritage sanctuary in their hands? This is the heritage. It's in my hands. It's in my hands. I got the whole heritage in my hands.
Yes, sir. But as I got older, I said, from here on in, I'm going to preach to how people think. And after they think, and then if they want to move, move. But let's think. So I will raise a question with you perhaps along the way when I take my text and give you the subject or the theme. More than likely, I'll raise this question with you by simply asking, are you listening? Now that's important. If you won't listen, I can't get through to you. I'm just wasting my time and I needed to be doing something. Are you listening? Now, if you feel like it, now see it's all around here. Nothing wrong about it. That's just simply so mote it be. If you feel like saying amen, don't have to stop. You keep on saying amen. But I'm not going to ask you for it. I'm not going to take the time out of my message asking you to help me somebody. Am I right? I wished I had somebody to pray for me. And on and on. Now, it's all right. I don't criticize anybody. Any man that does that, that's his. But he's got to be himself. But I don't have but so much breath to use. And I have to use that to get my message over. Are you thinking? Are you listening? I'm going to raise, not more than 15 minutes, a question with you and with all of us. And they said, what will I do with Jesus, who is called Christ? And they all said, let him be crucified. They all said, let him be crucified. And the theme of the subject from which we're going to preach this morning is the inescapable Christ. You can't escape him.
So Pop, I think the thing that would really calm your spirit is the reality that the boy not from our village, Pop. And
What?
that the warlock boy, he not from our village.
Right.
And so all of the principles that you hold dear, that have been instilled into you, that I hold dear, that have been instilled into me, he don't respect or prioritize. And what Billy told me about Warnock when Warnock came, I'll tell you, it was, I learned to pay attention to what my pop and what Herbie taught me when they taught it to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm listening.
Like about like 22, 23, it wasn't what they was teaching me. Why are you teaching me this now? Because I had gone through enough situations where I'm dealing with something and I'm like, y'all knew I was going to be dealing with it. And they're like, well, what did we tell you back then? I'm like, all right, so I get this. And I realized what Herbie was telling me when Kevin Johnson first came, because that was hurting his heart, right?
Okay.
And then what he started telling me, like when Warnock really started start disrespecting Joe, that's when Herbie started telling me about Robert Nix. Now, just so you know, because I don't think you're going to be up on this, the same way that Warnock is the first black senator.
Right.
Okay, so the congressman that William Herbert Gray ran against twice to become a congressman was the first black appointed congressman. What was where Warnock is to Senate is what Robert Nix was to Congress in Philadelphia.
I'm listening.
And what Herbie drilled into me was that the first time he went up against him, he ain't win. But he got the approval from the community to run. That's the only first thing you need, right? Then it was the fact that his Robert Nix's leadership style, it was politically approved, endorsed, but it became stale in the community. And so it was that younger, zestful, focused that could, or not that was able to, right, galvanize a younger vote. And so, he was telling me that stuff about the first appointed with Warlock. And it is interesting because when Warnock started running, I think Isaac, as a matter of fact, I know, Isaac had talked shit about Warnock when he was up for race, right?
Right.
And about whether or not he could handle the magnitude of the pastorate at Ebenezer and the Senate responsibilities. And it was funny to me because Warnock brought up that William Herbie story about how Herbie was able to do it. And in my shana, right, Pop?
Right.
I'm thinking about the fact that, wait a minute, Herbie did it because he had a solid staff that was community-based. Warnock, you have nothing in the community and no one who connects to community. And
Good. He really doesn't. You know that?
well, Pop, you got to realize, well, you don't know.
The in and out of the community.
I'm gonna tell you what you don't know and what everybody kind of can see, right? So Marvin came from Daddy King, just like you did.
Right.
Marv never went nowhere. So that was Joe's staple, right? When the transition from Warnock to Joe, then when folk, they were building Horizon, Pop, you might not know this, they were building Horizon Sanctuary, right? And it was a bunch of folk who had money pledged when Joe announced his retirement. And folks start taking their money back.
I didn't remember that.
And Joe was like, yo, I ain't going nowhere. I'm stepping back, but I ain't going nowhere. And so that was kind of a talk between Joe and me and Herbie where the title doesn't matter, right? That was kind of that talk. I bring that up a lot. Herbie used to hang on that with the Sermon on the Mount. where you can't serve both God and Mammoth.
On his mammoth. Yeah.
And he emphasized that Mammoth wasn't the title. You know, we king of kings, little sons that make us kings. What title you got above that? You know, and it's not the money, because you know, and rank up there with oxygen, you need it. You know, you got to keep the lights on. But it was the pursuit of the money and the pursuit of the title, because and he you know, if you humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, in time he will exalt you when he trusts you. Good googly mo. Help me, Holy Ghost. But that was Herbie's whole point. Like, you know, he never decided to run for Congress. The Holy Ghost just told him it was a good thing to do. And so don't seek the title, because if you seek the title, you're going to have to do what the people up top want you to do. But if you seek to serve the people down low, then God will exalt you. He said that was the secret to his campaign. It wasn't that he wanted to take out Knicks. He liked Knicks. He kind of halfway respected Knicks. He just wanted to ride for the folk in his community. He wanted to serve them on behalf of God, and that's how that took place. So it, you know, that was the space where it was like, well, Joe leaving, but where you going? Nowhere, because Joe ain't going nowhere. And then you got to realize, Pop, we got this nigga in between Coretta first stroke, my brother getting murdered, and her second stroke. Like, don't nobody want nobody to connect the dots that, you know, Dexter hate little boys, Isaac hate little boys, and when Coretta died, that was the king coup. Remember, the board threw Dexter the fuck out. And 8 days later, Dexter installed, well, about a little bit later, 8 new board members. One of them, the most treacherous, was Isaac Ferris Jr. I mean, damn. This piece of shit is on the board. Everybody knew, it, like literally, this gonna be the big problem. And so, because nobody can deal with Isaac, because everybody got orders to respect his mama.
Yeah, I got you.
And everybody know I'm enforcing them orders. So even though I don't like Isaac, if you disrespect Christine King Ferris, I'm coming to fuck you up. Period.
That's right.
Via third person.
That's a blessed thought you have for that.
That wasn't a thought. That was an order. Pop, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you the joint when Barack won, right? The election inside of the Horizon Sanctuary, right? And I'm gonna tell you how I ended up having to introduce Yolanda, because Shannon is public relations. He came from Eddie Long when they had that boy shit going on. But
don't even mention Eddie.
But listen, don't forget, that's Bernice's spiritual pop. She got ordained.
I ever tell you that the Eddie went to that church out of my house, so to speak.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, I'm the one who got him connected to that.
Don't tell me that right now.
I just told you.
Okay, well, let's move past it.
Okay.
But you weren't here. I think you was in New York. Bernice, I think it was 96. Might be 96. Bernice tried to bring Eddie Long ass down to Auburn Avenue for a march for gay shit. It wasn't pretty. John Lewis, Joe Lau, it wasn't pretty. And so you got to remember, that's where Shannon came from. All of them came from Newburgh, Pop. When you look at it now, they even talking about the boy Eddie Bryan up there with Newburgh. When it's not like in your day, Pop.
I heard something about Newburgh the other day. Because I had heard it a while. Something was on the news. Something, I don't remember.
They just put his, well, Pop, this is how it goes for us in our generation, right? Folk used to really come and talk to y'all. But whenever these ritzy political people want to get seen, they, because Warnock can't hold shit, right? They go up there to Newburgh so they can get their little show, get their little thing, get their little whatever, and they do some stuff all the way up there in Lithonia, but that's for PR. The Atlanta stuff, down here you got Warnock, and what Warnock does, or what his videography team does, is he projects that he does a lot of shit for the community, But everything he does for the homeless, he does with that. Remember that relationship that Joe put together with the temple?
Right.
Them folk in Buckhead. So when you look online at Ebenezer, you're like, oh, they feeding the homeless. That this fucking facility is not here. But it be the Martin Luther King. What they do is they got that Daddy King banner, right, Pop? And they put that Daddy King banner in a building in Buckhead. And they had a event over there with a bunch of black homeless folk. So it looked like Ebenezer feeding the homeless, but the motherfucking homeless on the other side of town.
Right. I got you.
The folk locally. And I mean, you know, so when you're upset, Pop, I want you to realize that Warnock is politically appointed. Like,
But I just don't. I really just do not see. It's bad for me to say it. I have to look
It's
on
not bad.
myself. But I just don't see what Warnock is doing for the community. Period.
he did well. That's I was trying to be nice and say he doesn't. So, Pop, the thing that they kind of explained to me, right?
Right.
Like, cause it was kind of hard. It was kind of hard. So here's the deal, right, Pop? So, I started banging Keisha. Keisha is still the Bright Hope administrator. I was giving the church secretary the business, Pop. I mean, Pop, it's just something about her, okay? Just knock it off. And so that's why me and Kevin Johnson, because the stuff that Kevin Johnson had going on that we really couldn't figure out, the way I was figuring it out was I was putting the snake up in his secretary. You know what I'm talking about? And so, it was like, boy, you can't be over here. You done did that stuff. Because, you know, the mamas in the church. Talking about, no, I'm an Ebenezer's son. That's just a girl from where I grew up. Mama's like, boy, you know what I mean? And so that was the part where I'm an Ebenezer's son. So, you know, where you talk about the fact that, and we respect, I mean, you are. You're the last living member of Daddy King's ministerial team. But you do realize I'm the last son of the heritage, though, right? The same way you feel about the hood, the same way I feel about the hood. But, and I guess I said that to say, you know, you were there when after ML they tried to come and gentrify the community, and Daddy King told them folk where the frick they could go. And then he gave that order to hold for Joe to hold that down, and Joe gone, and I held it down as best I could. Pop, I'm gonna tell you, I misstepped something. And even though I knew Isaac was treacherous, I knew Warnock was treacherous, I knew that Shannon Jones is just a little booty bandit. Well, they all little booty bandits, Pop. I mean, that's just what the hell it is. That's why they scared of us. They don't like masculine alpha energy. You know what I mean? And the males they got around them are the political ones that bow down because they want some appointment. These dudes don't understand any part of service being an aspect of this called a ministry. They don't see it as a sacrificing work. They see it as a stepping stone in their political ascent. You know, them going to your Morehouse or any of those iconic institutions isn't having the reverence for it that you do. It's being able to slide in after your generation put in the work and being able to say, I'm here. I did this. But never having any work. And so, you know, you got to realize, like, I didn't plan. I did. I mean, you licensed them niggas. Pop, I was going to... Pop, you know, you don't understand. You don't understand. See, you two niggas is the same, but y'all different. I'm talking about you and Marvin. So I can never sucker punch Isaac because of his mama, right?
Right.
But you want to know the joke me and Marvin had when you ordained Shannon?
What?
If I could punch him in his mouth as soon as he became Reverend Jones. That was a joke. That was a joke. Like it wasn't a war. Nobody when the shit big came up. Think like Warnock ordained. Pussy, you not getting clout off of me. Clout is like shine, Pop. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, let me put the humility to the side for a minute. When you talk about how you was raised in Ebenezer,
right?
Nigga, hold on for a minute. Let me say it like this. Excuse me for a minute, Pop. Let me act like you Marv. I'm gonna say it how I'm saying. You ready?
All
Sully, I got raised by Amazing Grace. Forget about Herbie. I got my first MacBook Plus by Andrea Dash. And I know Christine King Ferris is the mama. I'm holding my bison bag right now, Pop. I know Christine King Ferris is the mama of the AUC. But Marion Grace Agundi, William Herbert Gray's daughter, oh, that's the mama of the two things that these niggas in Morehouse can't stand, Pop. You ready? That's the mama of Howard University, HU, you know, and behavioral science. You know she was so scientific. I'm just scientifically beating the shit out of Isaac. Hey, Pop, you know what's funny?
What?
What's hilarious is the way that Isaac Ferris, you know, Edith Scott Bagley was the sweetest woman in the world. And the world's perception of her, the understanding that they have of her as Coretta Scott's sister, has not been framed out by any member of the King family and or the Scott family. No family that actually did any work in our history.
I've not heard much about her.
Well, no, you have. You've heard a lot about her. All lies.
I mean, in terms of what you're talking about right now.
Well, her story and how Coretta wasn't really sure she was going to marry ML.
Right.
That story was rewritten by Isaac Ferris Jr.
Oh, okay.
That it was Daddy King who didn't know if Coretta was good enough for Martin. And that story has been framed out and enforced, was placed in the internet by Isaac Ferris Jr. And the significance of the statement is because he made it during his tenure as the president and CEO of the King Center. But he was put in that position by Dexter King. And after the King holiday was made a day of service in 1993, when Dexter was in power, and we celebrated the King holiday on January the 17th, 1994. You won't remember right off the bat, Pop, but it was January the 18th, 1994, the day after the holiday, right when the deposits were cleared and the press was gone, that Isaac, Dexter, they had removed Bernice the year before, killed the youth department at the King Center. They took the staff from 71 to 14, fired Edith's entire staff, killed the entire youth department. It was that instance that made Yolanda make that iconic conference call with all the mamas on it. Amazing Grace, Edith, all the mamas. That got Yolanda to get Amazing Grace, to give her mini university model that became Urban Success University. But it was the next year. It was all of the crap that Isaac and Dexter and them had done. The reason they did that is because, Pop, I don't know if you know. I know you know that Yolanda birthed the Creative Arts Department at the King Center in 1982. But I don't know that you know that the reason she birthed it was because that her auntie, Edith Scott Bagley, birthed the Creative Arts Department at Cheney And it was because of her birthing that creative arts department at Cheney. Pop, you know the curriculum from Urban Success University is called Success for Teens, right? It came from the fact that the summer program that Cynthia Dolores Nottage Tucker and Edith Scott Bagley had at Cheney University was called College for Teens. I'll pull it down and send it to you. When you go to Urban Success University, when it talks about the last closing class, it was the 2002 class of College for Teens at Cheney. And instead of talking about any of that story, see, that's why it was so crucial that after Coretta died and Edith was alive, that in order to get the real story for the youth, you had to kill Yolanda. Because Yolanda and Edith were so close. I mean, Bernice didn't even know that Edith completed Coretta's autobiography prophetically on the day that Martin was assassinated until after Yolanda died. And the eeriness that Yolanda felt is what made her, you know, she stopped the King Holiday. Pop, Yolanda tricked me. She always tricked me. What the hell they do? I'm like, you know how the damn Scott women, they're prophetic. She told me, I want you to introduce me. I think she talking about her book, Open My Eyes, Open My Heart, A Celebration of a Common Humanity. I'm thinking she talking about after the King Holiday, you know, the little side things, right, Pop? Over. So she's talking about she want me to introduce her. I'm in the damn truck in the back parking lot talking about, I'm thinking she talking about the green room. The kids come up talking about they waiting for you for what? Introduce Yolanda. I ain't introducing Yolanda for another damn 2 hours, 3 hours. Them niggas gonna be in there talking forever. You know Yolanda is a speaker. Huh? They waiting for you to, I ain't going behind that damn desk. I ain't going behind that desk. And she know I ain't going behind that desk. Fuck out of here. And then all of a sudden, see, Yoki got this thing that my sister got, that they got it from my daddy. It's this arm thing that go, ain't no choice, boy. That's a fucking direct order. And so I go behind the desk, I introduce her, and then 5 months later, she dropped Concrete Cold. And that's when they was doing that A.D. King Foundation shit. And Isaac, so you know, Isaac ain't got no brains. It's what's behind Isaac, right? Like, this motherfucker's dumb as shit. And what it is they pick Isaac's brain. So all of this shit that all this stuff that I need to work with, you know, there's a little bugger like me that Isaac he be giving up everything, like fucking everything, Pop, just everything. He gives up everything and everybody. Like, that's just what he does. You know what I mean? And so, all little connectors, you know, I was cool until you said you was going to the damn march. John was like, get your ass over there. I was like, damn. All right. No, not really. I'm going to tell you the part. You were standing to the side. The camera just don't come next to you. You was there. That was intentional. Because the shot, I'm not going to video me holding a damn bullhorn for Naomi. That was when they tried to, when you notice, Pop, you know, Jimmy died fighting for this shit. And I got Jackson bloodline on my grandmama. And so I'm alive way past where I expected to be. And so I put Trey in a lot of pictures. That's what my father did. I put, you know, you got Trey next to damn Willie Watt next to Ferris. I love Ferris. You know, Ferris, I watch you grow. But your daddy got some skeletons in the closet that he think going away. And sorry, boo-boo. You know what I mean?
What do you know? What kind of activity or connection do you have with Ferris at all now?
I love Ferris, but and all the bullshit that they doing to fuck me up and fuck me over is because Willie, you know, this shit enraged me actually. This little dumb white boy fucking attorney that Willie hired enraged me. First off, all the little girls went the fuck over to Elizabeth, right? And they all in the rafters, they all in love with Lady Oliver, right? But because Ferris is Ferris, she gets so much shine. So, you know, I'm talking to Willie about this shit. Like, Willie, you know, but Willie want to shine so fucking much. Like, bro, it's a lot of daughters over there, bro. And I'm going to tell you straight up, you don't do shit, but you got your daughter in the mix, bro. And in between this Isaac and Warnock shit, and instead of Willie talking to me like a father, he asking me, he think, I be dumbing myself down for these weirdos, Pop, and they really think I'm as dumb as I make myself look. So instead of Willie like understanding,
I have to go along with it. Of all the things you can be accused of, being dumb is not one of them.
but I play dumb like Pop. You'd be amazed. I talk fast. I talk scatterbrained. I jump around with issues. I play into the narrative that they created for me because it's what they told all their new staff. So all the people who don't know me, because they just put there and they feed into this narrative, that's what I give them. And then the people who be around, they be like, "Hey, why you acting like that?" I use this analogy. Jesus, when he talked about the seed and the sower, and his disciples asked, "Well, what does this mean?" He said, "That's so those hearing don't hear, and those seeing don't see." And so I've been buried, and that's kind of So the question was Ferris. I love Ferris. I love I realize God has a sixth sense of humor. His ways are above our ways. The motherfucker got to be a female, Pop, just like you be saying. Because at first it was the mamas, right?
Right.
And when it was explained to me who Christine King Ferris is, right? Even though I had the street anger I had for this shit Isaac participated in, one of my responsibilities has been, which has been really fucked up, still making sure his mama is separated and to separate him from fucking his sister. Angela put in mad work at Spelman, Pop. She is to be celebrated and respected for her own work. That's the only motherfucker in this generation of the King family that really got some fucking work. Martin III, it's Andrea, that girl he married.
Right.
Yeah, that nigga know how to pick. Okay. And Bernice don't do no fucking work. Alfie don't do no fucking work. Isaac ain't never did no fucking work. All right, that's it. But Isaac has always done what Isaac done. I'm Martin Luther King Jr.'s fucking nephew, and he has disrespected black women all throughout the Spelman motherfucking his lifespan. And I've been cleaning that shit up. I mean, this motherfucker, Pop, I go to freak party. Well, Pop, I ain't got the shit that he do. This motherfucker, he up in the swinger party. That's when everybody fucking everybody, right, Pop? I'm Martin Luther King Jr.'s nephew. You supposed to, just so he can get some poom poom, because he ain't got no game to get the girls to give him no poom poom. You know what I'm talking about, Pop?
Right.
And so, but nigga, you in the type of environment where you don't need to be telling people who the fuck you are. Like that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, when I was a little kid growing up, but in this transition, one of the things I told Willie, I said, in this transition, I love Ferris. I think about the time that Ferris means the most to me. I think about 2 times. I'm going to tell you. I think Ferris might have been about 13. We was in the gym right across from the damn, the one on campus, right? The little whatever. And they was having a little summer program, and she's hanging out with the little rapper boy. I ain't gonna say her name because I'm a little young buck. And she said, I can't wait till I turn 16 and my daddy give me some car keys and I get away from this thing. And I said, I understand, little baby. And so that's the Ferris I know, right? And so I allowed her. I told Joe what she told me that day. He said, okay, so make sure she can do what she do because this shit get on her. And then the next one was, I've watched Ferris because Willie be sloppy on her detail. I had a couple motherfuckers disrespect Ferris publicly the wrong way. I done had plenty little boys fucked up for talking shit about my little Ferris. Okay?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that wasn't my little baby. And I ain't got to take credit for this shit. It's just my own little pride and joy. And I won't forget, but she a little baby. Like my daughter, little baby. Like Lisa, little baby. You know what I mean? She got intentions, but you don't know what the fuck we talk about and what we do in this heritage shit, because you are daughters, and it's none of your fucking business what we do as fathers. I mean, sorry to put it like that, Pop. I know that my common communication offends you. And so, I know, but my delivery a little bit harsh for you.
I understand.
And so, there is the moment when after she has eulogized her grandmama, after she has stood through the funeral of her grandmama, and after she has, sung that hymn out for her grandmama that I finally feel as though I can go walk through, and me and you know, but I won't speak in this moment, and go cry out the fact that the thing that her grandmama asked me to do for her, I did. And I know she can't interpret me. She see me like look crazy, look KJ, and hear all of those shit that them folks say. She don't have a fucking clue. You know what I mean? And she got a little, and I'm talking to her, she got a little bodyguard boy. He come out, and the only reason this tape ain't went out with him making this threat is because she in the background. And that's the conversation I'm having with Willie fucking Watkins. Like, do you realize, like, Willie, you know what my daddy said to you, nigga, and you know a member of your staff threatened me? Like, come on, buddy, like, let's stop. And so I tell you about we were working on the cars that with the boys. That's damn 2 blocks from the damn funeral home. So Willie, stop this shit. I'm talking to all the boys in the community. They telling me about some shit you done did where all the fucking men in the community hate your ass. So I'm like, bro, you gotta chill out. And then in the interim, like, bro, Willie, I would have gave you, if I'd have known you'd have did this dumbass shit, because, you know, I would have, if I know you was this cheap, bro, I would have came and gave you the motherfucking $2,500 for you to get to the girls. Like, you paying this white boy way more money, and then the one fucking thing that he's supposed to not do, he does. He puts Ferris's fucking name in a Fulton County docket. Have all of these motherfuckers forgot that the Fulton County docket where Alveda sues Coretta for control of the fucking King Center in 94? So when this A.D. King Foundation shit pop up, and this fucking Isaac Ferris shit pop up, and this Alveda shit pop up, then Willie fucking Watkins, instead of you understanding what the fuck you know and keeping Ferris out of it, you done put her in a fucking docket. And so after I'm dead, when I'm 87 like you, Pop, talking to my sons spiritually about lessons and shit about y'all, then they not gonna clean this shit up for Ferris. Cause all of them know.
Nobody would believe this movie, would they?
No, but this is the part that they forget. Edith is the creative arts department. So the part that I tried to tell Warnock, dumbass, that me and Marty Smith be laughing about, nobody said we don't have a no camera policy. That's because nobody other than approved cameras can record this shit. Pop, I got 30 years of fucking footage. Dumped. This shit is a movie. It's one fucking documentary that these dickheads won't let me close. Pop, you would have thought when Warnock was getting $1 million house, right? And the article came out and the shit had a link to a conversation with me and you, that he would have left me the fuck alone. Like, you'd have been like, I don't know who this boy is. But somehow he done took my shit from the desk of Marvin Brinson and Deborah Shields all the way the fuck up to Washington in a paper that exposed my shit. And I'm telling the paper not to give up my address. That nigga lives at 2753 Hosea Drive in DeKalb County. We all got your address, nigga. And so I am, they wonder why I'm upset. Pop, Willie Watkins, I'm like my father. I got an impeccable fucking record. This the other part, right? That I can't get him out of. Out of all the mamas that got disrespected, right?
Right.
There is one woman that every president, from Lyndon B. Johnson to Barack Obama, kissed her ass. After they got me to throw the Watts Night party in 2011, right, Pop? The next week, my mama died. March 15th, 2011. That's when Amazing Grace Banks Sullivan, Mommy Grace, died. June 11th, 2011, that's when Edith Scott Bagley died. Now, I was about to blow Isaac Ferris the fuck up, period. And like he was just gonna have a car accident, break. I don't know what the fuck, but it was over for him. And then on August 18th, 2011, that's when Amelia Isidora Platts Boynton Robinson came and had her 100th birthday in the King Center Auditorium. I'm holding a picture in my hand right now, Pop. And, you know, when we celebrate Ascension, do you know what day Willie Watkins walked up and his attorney started doing all this dumbass shit at this Kinley Wild? I told you about this little fucking piece of shit, excuse me for telling the truth, restaurant at Georgia State. Pop, the building that used to be my radio station that had all the pictures of Daddy King and the Heritage Sanctuary on the wall. That's the building that Willie went into August the 26th. Got this little, Pop, this boy that they tried to get to try to say he wanted to fight me, this nigga, he got a little like weight room muscles, Pop, but he ain't got no mobility. The nigga couldn't beat himself out of a wet paper bag, wouldn't bust a grape for Welch's on juice day. You know what I'm talking about? But he came out, this nigga came outside to fight me in front of the neighborhood, right? To incite some kind of violent shit, right, Pop? And when the nigga came out, he did it in front of the admin, aggressive at me. That was the day before August 26th, the day that Willie Watkins sat his fat, disgusting ass inside of Kinley's Catering, where I told you about Keyshawn. Pop, I told you when they had me in the Richard Russell building on March the 7th, I couldn't be in Alabama, and one of our spiritual daughters, one of my friend's daughters, died because something happened with the girls. That's Keyshawn, who worked inside of Kinley's. I put one of the girls, she like a little sister to me, needed some stable employment. I put her up in there because she needed a job because I wanted to get close to the motherfuckers and find out what happened. They tried to get her in the mix. And on August the 26th, Willie Watkins, Mama Amelia's 20... now, you know how we talking about Coretta and Cynthia's 20-year ascension?
Right.
Now, she wasn't my grandma. That my Uncle Bruce mama. That my cousin Dr. Carver's mama. On Amelia Isidora Platts Boynton Robinson, the woman that every president from Lyndon B. Johnson, till she shut her eyes, she wasn't going to ever see this Trump shit take place, kissed her ass. The one that was on the bridge with you and John Lewis at 2015 March when I had the kids over at that lady. The one that Michelle Obama, that's the one that Willie Watkins and all them did this disrespectful shit to on August 26th. That was their 10-year ascension date. And that white boy, the little fucking lawyer, just to staple it and make it worse, right? That's the little white boy attorney. Because that little white boy lawyer, the boy name is Brian Kelly. He went to GSU. And Willie took a picture with him on his Instagram. I got it in my hand right now. That's the nigga that put Ferris's name on that docket in Superior Court. So it don't matter what it looks like. Little black kids forever will connect Isaac Ferris Jr., Donald Trump, Willie Watkins, and Ferris. And Willie didn't allow me to cut Ferris the fuck out of it. So I love Ferris with all my heart. But I have no idea why Willie Watkins would be stupid enough to put his daughter in the middle of this shit. I think that, I'm going to tell you what a lot of these people are doing, right, Pop? They know me, but they don't really know me. So they know I have a huge heart for the women in this ministry. They know I have a huge heart for folk, but they forget that Caleb and Joshua was for the kids.
Right.
So they forget that I'll abandon anybody over 18 for everybody underneath. And so I am...
Well, I know one thing about you.
I love the little Ferris. That was the question. I do.
You have a brilliant mind, and you're loyal to your loyalties.
I'm a commander's kid. I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't. I'm 10 times more cold-hearted than any of my brothers, but I'm my mother's son. like, like you gotta realize, Pop. Like you gotta let me get it. Let me get it so I stare at it when I tell you. You know, when you go to the mompreneursquad.com, right, Pop? That's the website. Then you can't help but when it opens up, it got 3 women on it. All right, and well, I don't bring the picture up because then I'm gonna really bring it. You know, Christine King Ferris as Martin Luther King Jr.'s son, sister. She see, I started stuttering when that started coming out my mouth, Pop. She did a lot to build the King Center, right? But when you talk about the youth department, all right, then the youth department of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center of Nonviolent Social Justice, in its foundation, was really built by 3 women after it was killed. It's built by Amazing Grace Banks Sullivan because she gave Yoki her mini university model. It's built by Coretta Scott King. And then there's a woman who gave up the ultimate sacrifice for it because what Dexter and Isaac had did was they had ostracized all the young black men in the old 4-4. Remember, they was coming to whoop Dexter and Isaac ass. And so there's another woman, my mama, who sacrificed her son to come the fuck down here. And the reason when you think about it is because Amazing Grace is the mentor. My mama as a prophetess, and Coretta Scott King as a prophetess, and Eda Scott Bagley as a prophetess, and Cynthia Dolores Nottis Tucker as a prophetess are all mentees of the great Amazing Grace Banks Sullivan. You know, they're forgetting that unfortunately ML got murdered. But it was Leon Sullivan. And here we go. You remember this? An Amazing Grace who took Coretta to Africa to meet Mandela. It was Sully. It was Herbie who put in all that African work that I was born in the middle of. And it is Isaac who hanging out with the president who called Africa shitholes.
You know, it's ironic with all the connections.
Pop, I got one for you. And with Warnock and all them trying to lock me up, they forget that it was Billy and Herbie who were actual mentees of Mandela. And both my spiritual fathers taught me something they learned from Mandela. It was the prison that gave him the presidency.
It's interesting too that how I ended up being one of those who worked with the commission to name the first free and open elections in South Africa. You know that?
I do.
Yeah, I mean to be to go with a code name and security.
Hey, Pop.
Yeah.
You want to laugh for a moment?
What?
Everybody else might not know your stuff, but you getting 87. You know how I can tell you 87?
Oh.
You know how I can tell?
And all the old stuff.
You every once in a while you forget. One of my responsibilities is to make sure that I write your story and you get respected.
Oh.
I'm gonna tell you the problem I'm gonna have with that one. You ready?
I'm listening.
You know who you gotta connect me to? You gotta give me Paul's phone number, boy, cause Lisa gonna come for me. It don't matter though. Cause like
Paul would know. I mean, you would enjoy talking to Paul probably.
well, it's cool. You know what I banked on for Paul?
What?
You know what I banked on in that spot?
What?
I banked on what you taught me.
The what? Oh,
I banked on what God used you to teach me.
Right.
That even when they cut it up and keep us apart,
Right.
that the part that Daddy, cause see, I don't got Daddy King journal, but I got Will Gray journal.
Right.
And Will Gray was a nigga mentor.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Every mentor wrote what he told his mentee.
Yeah, I hear you.
So I get all sides of it. I get what Daddy King said when he told you gonna still be here, and now I'm talking to your ass. So I'm confident in the fact that the kid's gonna clean this up. So I don't know how me and Paula connect together, but I know, hell, I know Trey connect with Lil Paul, and I know that these kids and AI, with the way that they connected and tech and communicate, that's the one thing that they way behind on. See, the thing that made you not well, God is who does it, but one of the methods that God used with you that these idiots they never learned and they learned too late is the voting power comes from the fact that you raise the kids. They shuck and jive for votes. They don't realize Daddy King never shucked and jived. It was the fact that Daddy King raised the kids and established such a community reputation that all the politicians had to come for him to ask for the kiddie vote.
KJ,
Yes, sir.
because my phone has had the 757 exchange number. Just-
Answer that.
No. What I'm saying, I get 1,000 calls that are spam and all that stuff through the course of the day.
Yeah.
All because of my 75, they never leave it a name.
It's not because of your 757. It's because your phone doesn't have the anti-spam on it.
It doesn't have what?
It don't have some little tech thing I got to do to your phone. I'm gonna get to your house within the next 2 weeks. I got 1 week of paperwork to do in the government center, and then all of my stuff is done. We can hang out and spend some time, and I'm gonna get all that stuff done for you.
Oh, well, I ain't worried about it.
Well, I am because I got to make sure that you can be able to talk right.
Yeah.
Because these niggas is gonna come for me hard for a year, Pop. Because I just fucked up Warnock's re-election. I just killed it. Like any and every aspect of him that warrants him, I just put the fucking nail in his coffin.
But you know, that's one thing I worried about. I mean, I'm not worried about it.
What's that?
I wonder what Warnock tells about the world about him and Ule. It's never mentioned,
So it's not Warnock, it's what has been growing Warnock. And every aspect of this dude is a lie. And the challenge is that the shit is so crap. Pop, you remember God. Thank you, Holy Spirit. God made us in the field as beast. And then he created the garden. He placed us in the garden. And then it was this crafty motherfucker. You remember, Pop? This little slithery motherfucker that slid up and asked Eve all the questions. And so when you gotta get what I call him that, and I don't call him that in my flesh. That's the prophetic calling him warlock.
I hear you.
You remember
I
Gamaliel?
I just still wonder what nothing's ever said about him and Ule or anything. I mean,
Because he's connected to the media outlets that covers every one of his fuck ups. You don't know, Pop, when the nigga came to Ebenezer.
I mean, but that's highly unusual. And nothing would ever come up about his wife being married or separated.
Because he's canceled that story already. He cuts a check. This is what Warnock does after his fuck ups. You ready? He puts people through this legal battle that exhausts their financial resources, right? Because he calls in favors and they gotta actually spend their resources. And then after that's done, then what he does is when he knows you fucked up and he think you barely won, then he offers you a big check with a non-disclosure attached to it. And a penalty for him to come back and fuck your life up. The problem that Warnock has with me is I don't want his money. The problem that Isaac has with me and the A.D. King Foundation and Babs, I don't want their money.
The other thing I wonder about.
The problem Bernice has is I don't want her money. And they've never, Pop, listen to me. When Joe told me this shit about them, Bernice has never had anybody tell her no to money. Bernice is so used to being either able to leverage either her legal influence or her being her daddy's daughter influence, where nobody says no to Bernice until me, right? Warnock, you know, Pop, that nigga done had everybody kiss his ass since he got here. I'm the only one before him. Well, damn, not when I'm talking to you. We the only two people anchored, documented, for putting in the work that don't bow down and kiss his ass. And then you got Isaac, who got the A.D. King Foundation. And the biggest challenge they got is, well, damn, what is it about the A.D. King Foundation? That's KJ and Dan Branson. They don't give a shit about Naomi. Y'all put me, you know, you got to get to the pop. You got to hold your breath. You got to hang out for a little while till folks start connecting the dots. Well, wait a minute. The only time Naomi had a march is KJ leading the march by the Richard Russell. Y'all put him in the Richard Russell. You remember it. And then y'all got him in there, and then the anniversary of that shit, y'all got him in the Richard Russell, and a little girl die, and y'all play around. And then God take Naomi a year to the day y'all had him in there, and y'all still playing them games. Only because KJ has yet to, how would Daddy King say, make this shit plain.
Make it plain.
Pop, if people heard the conversation me and you having right now, they'd be like, damn, KJ, the whole time, what the fuck you wanted, bro? My assignment.
Well, let's hope they don't ever hear it.
Oh, they will. We will be long gone though. But the damn, and the thing of be is, okay, what happened? Well, there's a woman close to my mama, right? Who was raised by the woman who mentored Coretta, and the guy who gave her and ML. You know, the thing that they don't realize they disrespect is Christine King Ferris. I mean, Lord have mercy. Let me leave her alone. The thing that they missing, right?
When the Christine King Ferris?
No, yeah, okay. I've been corrected. See, I used to hold it in reference. I've been messing it up all types of ways now. I know. Thank you for correcting me in that. I do have to honor her. But it was Cynthia Dolores Nadish Tucker who filled up the Civic Center for Martin Luther King. Held Freedom Elegante, raised the first couple $100,000 that he ever touched. It was Leon Sullivan who gave Martin Luther King Jr. Select patron. That was Operation Breadbasket that funded everything. I'm gonna remove you because you came up north and put some work in for all these southern niggas that ain't do shit. And at the end of that, when Coretta shuts her eyes, then what we got is a huge and Edith and my mama and Amazing Grace left. And then after they shut their eyes, you disrespect them.
Yeah. Well, we've known and been involved in a lot of history, haven't we?
I talk to you about the past because I got to document it for the kids, but I'm more concerned with the present and the future. My father always said that, you know, champions don't qualify on last year's stats nor last generation. It's fun to recap and talk about it with you, but Pop, you know, I'm always out here that damn doing the work they don't do.
Right, yeah.
And so with, you know,
the other thing about it, it doesn't go any further than us either.
not while we here.
But I'm just still saying, you know, I don't talk to you the way I talk to anybody else, not the way I talk to you about. We talk about all this stuff.
Because nobody's here for you to be able to talk to. Like, okay, what, you ready for a minute? Don't come for me, you ready? Somebody got to shepherd the shepherd, man. I mean, I know how iconic it can be. And the feeling.
I've told you this many times, but it was a moving moment for me when
Samuel Proctor.
No, I'm telling you, this was another one.
Okay.
Isaac was not well, and he told Ferris and Isaac. He said, "Y'all, you know, you'll always." I've told you this before, but I never forget. It's ingrained in my mind and on my little television screen. Where he said, "Now you had Ferris and Isaac. for you. You hear me?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, and I never forgot that because he had never sat down and talked like that. You know what I mean? He wasn't sitting there laying down.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. That's interesting. You just never know the how and why of things. You know?
You know, it's interesting you brought that up. I thought, you know what I was about to say? I was about to say, I thought you were going to talk about, or I was going to talk about, how excited you get when you talk about being Samuel Proctor's pastor. It's one thing to be a Rockefeller. It's something else to be Samuel Proctor's pastor.
Yeah, that was, he told her, he said, hey, you gotta be because you my pastor.
Imagine getting to shepherd your patriarch, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing that right now. Let's move along. But the thing that you said, you know, you brought up Ferris and what her grandfather said. You know, I be cutting. That was the part that Willie was supposed to help me do, man. Like, it's not just damn Ferris that's in the middle of this shit. Like Willie, do you not understand that I'm trying to cut? Like, I already cut Bernice the fuck away from Isaac. But Willie, do you realize your dumbass staples fucking Angela to him? Like, Willie, if you sit down and shut the fuck up, right? I can really cut Angela away from this whole fucking Charlie Kirk, Alveda, all these statements shit. You know, Alveda up here just giving the Klan fucking everything. All right? And
Look, I was Alveda about to be making money out of both.
boy, you know that's all she ever wanted. What she ever tell you she did it for?
I told her, but she tickled me every time I said, why you just throwing something if you take a finger and rub them together?
For the money.
Yeah.
That's why can't nobody get mad at Alveda. That's what she is. Listen, when people show you understand it. But the thing of it is, that's not Angela. And that's not Bernice.
No, it's not.
Bless you. And a major part of my responsibility was to carve them the fuck out. And Willie Watkins is so fucking shallow that he don't realize, bro. Like, you know what it is that I don't know how to figure out. I don't know how his new wife and Angela relationship is. Cause every time I'm telling him about, like, even now, Pop, I'll be candid. I'll be across the street in the vitamin shop.
He's been, I forgot all about her. I haven't even heard, she hadn't even come up in my thought pattern.
Who? The vitamin lady?
Willie's wife.
Now, you know the thing that I'm trying to figure out, right? Is I asked Angela what to do. She gave me 3 things. Angela, I'm tired of biting my tongue. She said, don't bite your tongue. Don't get upset. And do it in love. I'm trying to figure out how Willie Watkins fucked this up. And all of this shit, right, Pop? This is the part I can't understand. Angela gotta know this shit going on. One fucking phone call from Angela could tame my ass on this shit. And I ain't hearing from it. But this is the funny part, though. You ready?
I'm listening.
I track every fucking email I send out. I see Angela one of the first people that open my damn emails. And I'm wondering, like, what the fuck? Like, and I understand it's the girls, and Angela knows psychiatry. So she can kind of understand what the fuck I'm doing. She knows everything. I don't understand this shit. It's people that say they think, Pop, you know how many motherfucking death threats I done got because of this bullshit? And I'm going to tell you, the one thing my daddy prepared for, I hope they don't make that shit happen. Like, I'm telling you, I ain't even worried about me. I'm already past where I could be. But I'm talking about, Pop, why the fuck would y'all commit suicide like this? Like, if I gave y'all a Warnock address, you motherfuckers come for me, everything explodes instantly. Like, this shit gonna look like fucking... Pop, you remember Move?
Who?
You remember the Move in Philly where they blew up a block in Philadelphia?
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna look like the Move to Atlanta.
But you know what I think about sometimes, KJ?
Pop, you live next door to the first black Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
They don't got no damn idea who you done pastored, who done sat in them pews, and they keep disrespecting you. And the crazy part is you calm, but them niggas that you done calmed down ain't. and they watching real heavy and have
I don't know, but it's just interesting.
they watching real heavy on how they done damn how they did Marvin funeral, and they telling me like, whoa, Pop, how you feeling? You feeling good, right? You got another 10 years in me.
I don't know. I doubt that.
All right, I'm counting you for 12. All right, let go. Go ahead and say what you were saying. I got a 1 o'clock I got to get to, Pop. We got a half an hour.
Love you, son.
No, I got a half an hour.
I said, but I love you, son. I gotta get up. I got something I gotta do.
All right, that's time. Hey, Pop, you want to pray us out?
I want to what?
Pray us out.
Sure, I can.
Okay, go ahead and do it.
Dear God, we thank you for this moment and all the minutes and moments of life that we share together. I thank you for KJ's wisdom and his enthusiasm for life that is based on his foundations, oh God, and the scriptures and your word. I thank you also for his history that he's willing to share and his heart that he always includes in his interpretation. I thank you, oh God, for just the privilege of sharing with him and to share his thoughts and to understand his heart and what drives him. I ask you, oh God, as I always do when I think of him, be with him, keep him safe, and be with those who are dear to him. We thank you, oh God, that you brought us together on this journey, however long or short it remains. I thank you for his wisdom, and I hope that the world will one day know the gifts, the great mental gifts that you gave to him. Because there's nothing about KJ that is common. I thank you for the privilege of sharing life with him, and I move on from this moment, oh God, and the faith and the hope that you will be with him, take care, keep him safe. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. Wow.
All right, I'm gone.
You know, I'm going to say something.
What?
I ain't never had it from you like that. And I heard the general tell me the peace that it gave him in his tumultuous time. I heard the Master Chief tell me about the peace that it gave him in his strategizing time. And I heard my father tell me about the purity in you.
Let me interrupt something.
And so I want to say thank you.
And bring some humor. Oh, yeah, I appreciate you, man. You know that. Listen, ML always had me. I laugh when I talk about Morehouse.
Sir?
I've told you this before, but he said, but you know, you could never get into Morehouse. But I'll forget the way to go. I told you this before. You remember?
Yes, sir.
No, he teased me when I was getting ready to go to get graduated from high school, and I was going to go to Clark College because at that time I was going to be a writer, a journalist, and they had a good starting department at that particular time, and I didn't want to go to Morehouse because in those days we used to say, man, you come out before you didn't want to go to Morehouse. Morehouse for the sisters, all boys. So I was going to go to Morehouse, and that's what Bill told me. Albert, you know, you could never get into Morehouse.
All sissies, huh? It might not have been before, but it sure is now. Sissy Central.
Anyway, what can one say? But it just tickled me. I think about all these things. He told me all my deals with Morehouse across the years, and from the top to the bottom. He's always big to me. I always hear him say about that. Albert, you know, you could never. This was a week or so ago when they was dedicating the plaque over the Morehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the first thing I thought about. He said, Albert, you know, you could never get into Morehouse. But he didn't really mean that.
Hey, Pop, you know what I need you to do for me?
What?
Instead of just saying that you were Samuel Proctor's pastor, right?
Right.
I need you to let everybody know that you pastored the Navy SEALs and the 003?
And the Navy SEAL was my next door neighbor.
And the 003.
And he's still and his wife still is right next door to Paul and right now, they look after them every day.
They look after your family every day, huh?
You know, but I'm saying my family, my son and his family look after Marie, Bill and Marie too.
And
He died and all, but Bill was a confidant, and Bill got me involved with all the military stuff. You look on my wall now, up in my old junkie office area, all this military stuff, all that came through my contact with Bank Street and Bill and others. Yeah.
sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna get off the phone now.
You have given them everything they needed.
Yeah. But anyway, love you, son.
Love you, Pop.
I'm prolific, so gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it. No kidding. Breaking down a switch in front of your building. Sitting on the steps, feeling no feelings. Last night it was a cold killing. You gotta keep the devil in his hole. But you know how it goes. I'm front line every time it's sold. 100 proof flow, run and shoot pro. 458 drop, playing bulletproof soul. Every few shows I just buy some new